What were you doing when 9/11 happened, and where were you?
I was actually in Milford, Massachusetts. I was painting a fence, believe it or not, and we were at a house where my buddy, he owns a painting company. We were painting a fence, and he was up on the roof, and I was down on the ground painting, and he heard on the radio that a plane went into the World Trade Center. And the first thing I said to my other friend I was with is that some idiot basically just flew a plane in, oops. And then a few minutes later, he yelled down from the roof again and said, another plane went in, and then it was crazy. We all went into the house with the lady we were painting, and we watched it on TV. We watched the towers come down. It was crazy. I just remember it being crazy.
Do you discuss 9/11 in your classes?
Yep, every year I do on the event, on the anniversary, and then usually when I get to Pearl Harbor, I do a comparison between. I think it's something we need to remember. We need to realize that we're still in two wars that are related to this. Afghanistan directly, Iraq maybe indirectly, but it's important for these kids to know why we're fighting and where we are, and what had happened, what it was like before, what it was like after. And I know it's slipping away, and every year I say this, the younger kids, they remember less and less and less about it. But it's important, I think, for them to remember it, because it is basically a lot of what we do now as a country in foreign policy, even domestic airport security, is based on that event, and it's something that we should remember absolutely.
How do you think 9/11 has impacted the U.S.?
I think it's changed us dramatically. The whole September 10th attitude is gone. I think we're a little lazy, a little caught up in ourselves, listening to Britney Spears and all that. Like, we weren't focused on any threats. I think it's changed us now. Obviously, the wars changed us. The people that were lost has changed us, but it's also made us. It's changed our whole security system. It's made us question civil liberties and rights with Guantanamo. It's made us question things like wiretapping, and it's in some ways it brought us together, but in some ways I think it's also divided us a little bit too. It's definitely had a major impact in a whole bunch of different areas.
And what do you think the U.S. would be like if 9/11 never happened?
That's a good question. I see ourselves going on the road we were on before. Like I said, I feel as though we were getting kind of too comfortable with the way things were going, and I see that we would have continued in that direction. However, I'm pretty sure that sooner or later something was going to happen. It was brewing for a long time before 9/11. That was the big one. But going back to the first Trade Center bombing, the USS Cole, the embassies in Africa and all that, it was brewing anyway. So sooner or later it was going to happen. What would be different? We probably wouldn't be in Afghanistan right now. We probably, most likely, wouldn't be in Iraq right now. And we could have saved a lot of lives, to be honest.